This year for my birthday, we decided to go to Ross Lake. Ross Lake is in eastern Whatcom County. It's formed by Ross Dam on the Skagit River, and Ross Lake extends 20 miles right on up to the Canadian border. Since I was going up there, I thought I'd do a little amateur geology fieldwork and go looking for the Ross Lake Fault. But getting there can be an adventure all in itself. We drove from Anacortes on Highway 20 crossing those twin bridges over the Swinomish Channel. Still on Highway 20 on into Burlington. Sedro-Woolley. We stick to Highway 20 the whole way. From Sedro-Woolley, past Lyman, Hamilton, right on into Concrete. Let's take a peek at Concrete. Not much to see, really. But check out the silos. They painted "Welcome to Concrete" just for the movie This Boy's Life. And see that milk truck there? It's taking up water for Cascade Clear bottled water from the Concrete municipal water. Fun facts about Concrete. From Concrete, we drive past Rockport and on into Marblemount. We journey from Marblemount on up into Newhalem. Newhalem is very well kept and quiet, and kind of creepy. We're entering the mountains now. Look at that steep terrain. The North Cascades are young mountains. They've only been rising up for about 8 million years or so. And as a consequence, they're still crumbling, trying to find equilibrium. In 2003, there was a major rock slide in this area, and the Department of Transportation cut the highway back and made this berm to collect the hundreds of thousands of tons of rock that are still waiting to come down from above. So we keep going on up the canyon, and we're almost there. Go along Gorge Lake, and we'll cross it, start winding our way up. But here, we say goodbye to Highway 20. After we cross the dam, we drive on over to the Diablo Boathouse. Then we get into a boat and head up the lake. We go between Monkey Island and the shore, and head into the Diablo Lake Canyon, which is very steep and very narrow. These twists and turns are really exciting at night, which I've done before, going very, very slowly. So we make our way up, almost to the base of Ross Dam. Last year, a massive rock slide wiped out the dock at the other end of Diablo Lake. Here's that same dock in happier times. I spent quite a bit of time just lingering there, in that very truck. The Park Service and Seattle City Light put in a replacement dock at the end of a narrow, steep trail. So I haul our gear in this little tractor-trailer rig. We made our way up and over Ross Dam. Ross Dam was finished in 1949 and is something like 650 feet tall. We're headed for Ross Lake Resort. Here's the resort all spread out on the bank when it's open. Right now the water's low. So the floating buildings are all bundled together for the winter. Full disclosure, I work for Ross Lake Resort during the summer. Before I went back to school, I used to work there year-round. This geologic map shows what I'm looking for, the Ross Lake Fault, and it's shown here as a dotted line with all those little black triangles. So this indicates that it's a thrust fault at a fairly shallow angle, and those black triangles point down in the direction that it plunges. The different colors and patterns on a geologic map represent different groupings of rocks. I'm headed right here where the fault comes down the west bank of the lake, about 10 miles up. I should be able to get there by boat. Here's a Google Earth's eye view of where I boated. I started off at Ross Lake Resort and motored along. Now this is the full lake summertime view. I'll show you a different view later. So I went past Cougar Island, all the way to right about here. I said I was going 10 miles up the lake, and look, there's 10 Mile Island. I'm boating on the lake in early May. It's about 90 feet down right now. Seattle City Light draws down the lake in the fall and winter to make room for the spring runoff. This exposes trees that were never logged and makes for cautious boating when the lake is low. You have to proceed very carefully. The ghostly forest is like a picket fence in places. These cottonwoods were inundated 60 years ago, and they are a ghostly reminder of the old river bottom. The low lake exposes the rocks. That's a good thing if you're interested in geology. I made it to my destination. Now to go looking for the fault. Here's a crack. Could this be it? Could movement in a fault have caused this rock fall? I wonder if this is the fault. Wow, this looks like it to me. There seems to be two types of rock on either side of that crack. It's filled with white crystalline rock. Quartz, maybe? I sent the pictures of what I thought was the Ross Lake Fault to Orion George, a master's student of geology at Western Washington University. Orion wasn't so sure it was the fault. He said that he would guess that it's a smaller quartz-filled crack, maybe from the metamorphism, uplift, or faulting, and that the fault is a probably much larger feature on the order of tens of meters. I had some evidence from the site, rocks from either side of that crack, and the white crystalline stuff in between. I thought this would prove I found the fault. The upper rock was pretty much the same as the middle. Quartz. My evidence was inconclusive. Looks like I'll have to return to Ross Lake another time to collect more evidence. Well, that's science. I hope you all enjoyed the journey as much as I did.